TNT Dynamite, the explosive one. Let's crack into another one.
TNT.
Yo.
They caught him.
They caught him?
They caught him.
Oh, not Matthews. Vinny Spaghetti?
Mario's brother.
They caught Mario?
Yeah, they caught him.
Oh, Tony Soprano.
So, yeah, oddly enough, a man named Luigi was the one who murdered this CEO from United Healthcare. We talked about that last week, about how it's kind of a wild thing.
That name is wild.
Yeah,
I'll tell you that.
Luigi Mangione.
Mangione.
So here's what I think is really kind of, I mean, it's all wild, right?
Yeah.
So essentially,
how a goddamn Mario brother came and killed.
After he murdered the CEO, he had a backpack full of Monopoly money. He plants that in Central Park.
Yep.
Then he ends up getting on a bus. He ends up in Altoona, Pennsylvania. Been there before. Lovely place. Not really. It's not lovely. I've been there before.
I'm not jacking Altoona anymore.
And so...
Too many rats.
What? So, okay. Here's the thing that I feel a little weird about with this situation.
What's weird?
So this man... He's like, obviously, he's like an Ivy League graduate, super high IQ.
Yep.
He
related
like,
to
they have pictures of him super fit, like 6-pack, like so he's into his health.
Related to a prominent political figure.
Yeah, his family is well off.
Yep.
The man basically is like set for life. He's attractive. He's smart. He comes from a rich family. He decides to murder the CEO, right? Like, and I think there was things that he has, like he's had back issues, and like there was.
So he was doing surfing, and he had received a back injury while surfing that kept him bedridden for weeks. It was around. Funny enough, he was 26 years old, and that's the same age you get kicked off your parents' insurance. And he was having issues with his health insurance after this injury. It left him to the point where he was unable to do a lot of the activities that he loved to do, including sexual activities.
Oh man!
So you take the pee out of the man. The man gonna take the pee out of the game. You dig me? I don't know what that means exactly.
I don't know, but roundaboutly. So here's the thing that strikes me a little weird about this. So this man, obviously super smart guy.
Yeah. What?
He plans all of this. He plants Monopoly money. Then he just like goes and chills in a McDonald's with the murder weapon, with his manifesto, with the clothes that he had that day. Just chilling, eating hash brown. Takes his mask off so the cashier at McDonald's can be like, oh, that's the guy who killed the guy. And then just hanging out, waiting for the cops to come. Doesn't that seem a little fishy?
So prior to this, like if you had looked at his social medias, because obviously people have compiled his social media, they say is that his family and friends had lost contact with him weeks prior to this.
I did see that, yes.
And they said that they believe that he probably had some sort of mental break. Now, as far as him going to Altoona McDonald's to get, by the way, Altoona McDonald's, do not recommend. Not the best Trump voice that I could do. I think that he thought he was a hero, man. When you see the press, the way that the internet embraced this guy,
it was like that Hot Criminal from a few years ago, where everybody like that guy with the baby blue eyes, and everyone like blew up about it. You know what I'm talking about?
I know what you're talking about. I like pictured him in my head as soon as you said it.
Yeah.
It's very similar to that, except I mean, like everybody just kind of like it resonated with people when they saw this man take out somebody who kind of felt like untouchable.
And did you see that there was wanted posters of other CEOs popping up around New York?
I did. I also saw that New York, man. You know what, man? I love New York so much, Jonas. Like I said, I did live there for a long time, and it's crazy. They had a look-alike contest to see who could look the most like Luigi.
Sorry to go fund me.
Yeah, there was one guy who was killing it too. I wish I had the video pulled up, but I do not. But yeah, it's kind of crazy.
It's almost like what we talk about when they make movies and you can't make the anti-hero too popular because everyone's going to want a copycat.
Yeah, that's what I said last week when we were talking about it, man.
This guy is like basically the anti-hero,
and it got too popular.
And like But here's the thing. Here's the other thing that I heard online. I don't know if it's true or not, but like, they're like, so you're telling me, because there's rumors about him like taking his mask off to flirt with the cashier there at McDonald's too, or whatever. But if he didn't, so this man has on a stocking cap and a mask, and he goes into McDonald's, and there's some probably high school kid working the damn counter, and they see hundreds, if not thousands, of people a day, and this man comes in there and orders some food, and you're gonna have the wherewithal to be like, that looks like the killer, and call the cops. What they're saying, or what the rumor I've heard is that McDonald's secretly uses facial recognition technology in their self order kiosks, and that he probably went to a self order kiosk and it flagged him from that.
Yeah, I mean,
which is a whole other problem about surveillance, because they're not supposed to do that stuff.
And I wouldn't be surprised if the FBI had access to it. They could probably.
You know what's crazy? Ties in. I forgot to tell you. When was the last time you flew? I flew to. Okay, I went to New Orleans since. Now, when you go to the airport and you give them your ID, they make everyone take. You got to take your picture now.
Oh yeah, I know. About
and they're
this.
like, you can opt out if you want. Just tell the guy. So now they're but you know what that is? It's for facial recognition.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
it's the next step.
Man, can't even go to a spa.
And that's the thing. It's like, how is he ever going to get out of the country? How is he ever going to get out of the country? You know,
hidden in the bed of a truck going to Mexico.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's I don't want to say it's a shame, because obviously the man did commit a crime.
He murdered somebody in cold blood. That's pretty rough.
Yeah, nobody feels sorry for it. I've seen some pretty horrific things about like the guy who was whose life was ended on that day, and people are like, nobody feels sorry for the guy, you know. And I don't know if they should.
I mean,
I don't know either one of these gentlemen.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's really wild, man, that it comes to this. Well, I think the craziest thing is there's such a lack of remorse from like a lot of just like regular people.
Yeah, on both sides of the political spectrum too. Because when Fox News broke the story, they were like, this criminal, and people were like, bro, you're talking to the wrong group, man, and we all think this guy's cool. I'm like, whoa.
Yeah, it's pretty wild that
this is all it takes,
man. And it sucks because like I don't like dealing with health insurance companies either. but I don't want this guy to die like that. It ain't like that CEO was like.
You know, there's a very famous quote out there, Jones. You just brought my memory. You brought to my memory. It says, "Where peaceful protest fails, violent protest is inevitable."
I mean, you're not wrong.
All right. And what does that mean? That means that if I try to tell you enough is that we have a problem and the problem doesn't get handled, then the only other thing that we have at our employ is violent protest a lot of times, man. It's the next natural step in evolution.
Yeah, I mean, people can only be calm and cool and collected for so long. If the issue doesn't get fixed, it's going to bubble over, which ain't the right answer, but that's why wars happen. Because they try to be like, hey, we want this country. And they're like, no, like Russia's like, hey, Ukraine, give us the country. And they're like, no,
it's our country. We want it.
And he's like, no, like for real, just give it to us. And he's like, no. They're like, all right, we're gonna come in there by force and take it. So, I mean,
so it's Luigi, man. So I don't know, Jonas. How are we gonna turn this guy into a meme now? Now that it's all dying down.
Is it? I mean, it's gonna come back up.
I don't know, man. I feel like it's over. My man's in court. He's in jail. He's behind bars.
All cool and calm until he got taken out of the police car and he's screaming about justice.
Oh yeah, it's something about it's an injustice to all people against their intelligence or something like that. Either way, manifesto's been released. I don't have any of the manifesto in my.
Yeah, I read through a little bit of it.
What can you paraphrase a little bit?
I mean, he was just like saying he's like I'm not even like smart enough to know everything, but I know things is wrong.
So we didn't even get to the whole point of like this does seem a little bit too convenient that he was in Altoona with the ghost gun that was with the 3D print with the exact gun fingerprints manifesto.
He's so slick and smart, and then he's like literally carrying it around the country with him.
Yeah,
Like,
it seemed kind of weird.
That doesn't make any sense.
There was the whole thing about the eyebrows not lining up. Like the eyebrows don't fit, you gotta quit.
I mean, you can use some scissors, but yeah, man. Like, unless he wanted to be caught, you know what I mean?
Or maybe he just was insane, man. Maybe he's just crazy.
I mean, there's
maybe just one guy who just kind of like lost it, waited outside after their little CEO meeting, and just popped this guy and walked off. It was New York, after all. New Yorkers know how to mind their business. Nobody in New York is going to see you shoot a guy in broad daylight or broad night light and do anything. We're just going to walk the other way.
Yeah. I don't know, man, but it's wild. Well, I mean, I'm sure more will come out. But yeah, it's crazy. I just hope that it doesn't become a trend.
I hope it doesn't become a trend either.
A trend.
And trans.
And trans. But anyways, that's all the time we have for today's episode. Please make sure to like, subscribe for Jonas.
TNT.
We out.